All right, let's take a look here at 32, and they say solve the formula for the specified variable, and they give us 1 over a plus 1 over b equals c, and they tell us to solve for b, which I've already underlined here for us. And we know that it's probably going to be easier if I rewrite what we're dealing with here. And since they want us to solve for b, and b is in the denominator right now, let's go ahead and get it out of the denominator so that we can solve for it, right? If what you're trying to solve for is in the denominator, you really want to try to figure out how to get it out of the denominator so that you can actually solve for it. And I think because we're dealing with an equation here, the easiest thing that we can do is multiply by the common denominator, which in this case is going to be AB, isn't it? So let's multiply each term by AB, which is the same thing as multiplying the entire equation by AB. And when we do that, let's see, A cancels with A, and we're left with B times 1, so just B. And then we have our plus. B cancels with B, we're left with just A. And now we have equals, well, AB times C is AB, ABC. All right, and we're still solving for B. So let's go ahead and, because we're solving for B, let's get the B's on one side. Right now we have a B on the left and a B on the right. So I'm going to subtract B from the left. And now we're left with A equals ABC minus B. And the reason you want to get your variable that you're solving for on the same side is because now look, B is what? Well, B is the GCF on the right, isn't it? So we can factor it out. So we can say B, factor it out, and what are we left with? AC minus 1. And if we're solving for B, we can go ahead and divide by AC minus 1, divide by AC minus 1, and that leaves us with B equals A over AC minus 1. And there you have it. So again, first things first, if you're solving for a variable that's in the denominator, you want to think, all right, how can I get that variable that I'm solving for out of the denominator? And once we did that, we said, all right, well, now I have the letter I'm trying to solve for, in this case B. I had B on both sides of the equation. Well, I don't want that, so let's get all the B's on one side of the equation. So we moved all of the B's to one side. And by doing that, B, what we're solving for, became the GCF. So we were able to factor it out. And once we factored it out, we could divide by what was left. So what was left goes away. And we end up with just B all by itself, which is exactly what we wanted. And so B equals A over AC minus 1.